So how did you find your purpose?
I think the first part is they must first realize themselves. You see no change in them because they just don't want to receive it, The moment I realized that I don't want this life anymore and I began to search for it, I began to see all these opportunities. The elder of the church, he knew exactly what I was doing. And I came and one day he saw me and he looked at me and he says, "You know what, Robert?" He says, "I want to see you in church every Saturday." Where does this kind of love come from? It just brought so much purpose in my life that I want to do the same for others. So this idea of I need to go and experience the world before I come and turn a new leaf, I think that is not reasonable, not ideal at all. So for me, as a father, then I think I should teach him as young as possible. But if you're trying to train them to prepare for the world, because eventually they're going to leave your guidance, then I think it's important to reason with them, to explain to them, and help them understand. Not bring them, but when it rises up, explain to them, and bring them.
Just like what you have experienced, even though you've gone through all those dark moments in your life, but you never actually left the church in a way. This is the one that connected you back. And when the time was right, at the right timing, the divine power gave you the enough rope, that and you hold on to it. So sometimes it's not good for adults to write off people. That no hope anymore for this kid. So in that note, how, from your experience, what are the things you can advise people like us who are older, how to deal with teenagers nowadays, especially?
Talking about never giving up, that was actually really true, and I found that many years later when I didn't really leave the church completely, but I stopped attending for some time.
Right.
But when I came back, that's when I found out they were actually, like, for example, a youth leader of mine. We put the year, 2012, praying for Robert,
Oh.
And then 2013, Lord, I want to give up. Robert is just getting worse. 24, and he prayed for years, and my mom as well. My mom is someone that she really, really prayed for me. And she kept praying for me. She never gave up. Some of this, you might not see the result immediately when you are trying to hope your kid will turn the other way around. But never give up on them. You never know what's working within that you don't see on the outside. So I'm really glad they continue to pray for me, and never give up on me.
Right.
So eventually later they told me, we actually prayed for you for years. That was like years. So you never know. You never know. In terms of young people, clearly, number one, build a relationship. That's for sure. If you don't build a relationship with young people, they wouldn't want to listen to you, no matter how truth your message is.
And sorry,
Yes.
building relationship doesn't mean like you always need to give advice and tell them what they're doing. No, taking them out makan.
Yes, just having
just sitting down with them and
talking to them. Just talk about their life.
Yeah.
Just listening to them,
Correct.
It's not really giving advice. Give them advice when they want to hear. I think that's what kids are.
Yeah.
But that's what you say. Just spending time with them.
Spending time.
I know there's a quote that says if a family that prays together stays together, and then there's always another quote that says a family that plays together stays. So I think with the young people as well, we got to play with them.
Yes.
So aside from the 3 vices that we talk about,
Yeah.
I think the latest one, I don't know if it's the latest one, but the more common one that I'm hearing is pornography. All right, and it's a very sensitive topic.
Yes,
but
it is.
I feel sometimes it needs to be addressed.
And it's sensitive because it's hidden.
Yes.
People can hide it, Smoking, you cannot hide. There will always be a smell.
Yes.
Drinking also same.
Yes,
Drug also same. It's all over
Your
the face.
Yeah.
But this pornography is a hidden addiction.
Yeah. And I think pornography is one of the worst that eats people from the inside.
Right.
So when you talk about mental health, I think that is one of the main causes that is really attacking the young people. And I speak towards men. I don't know much about women, but that is towards the men the young men that I'm ministering to. And then they eventually lead to depression.
Yes.
Because there's just so much guilt within.
Yeah.
Depression, lack of confidence, and no desire of moving forward into being spiritual in that sense or doing the right thing. And so I was talking to them and they were asking me how and all of this. And I remember talking to them 2 things. Number one, I say, be serious in your spiritual life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, be serious. Like, you want to change? All right, be serious in your spiritual life. Do your devotion daily. Don't skip it.
Yeah.
You know? The second one was actually something that was very simple, was change your diet. I said, change your diet. It says, well, why change your diet? And I interviewed the guy after, you know. I was like, how was it? He says, what about the diet that actually helped? What if you try to overcome that addiction without the diet? He says, the diet was not so much about health. It's nothing. I know it's important in health, but it was nothing about so much about health. And I'm just want to show a pattern over here. He says, when I am hungry, I go for fast food.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the young people that I know, they go for fast food.
Yes.
And that fast food straight away releases that dopamine of, satisfying the desire.
Mm-hmm.
Another big issue is social media.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this habit of satisfying your desire. We did a health screening in one of the universities in Kuala Lumpur. We had like 300 people that we managed to come. And I was one of the counselors, and I was talking to like a number of students. 8 out of 10 have bad sleep habit. 8 out of 10 are using social media late at night. So there's a desire to increase your dopamine, you get it straight away.
Yes, correct.
And you don't work for it. And we all know the scientific study that when you just allow and feed your desire and your dopamine, after that, since you didn't work for it, it's not a slow dopamine, it's a fast dopamine, you go below and then you get depressed. So all these young people are just so, I desire, and then I desire, I feed it, I satisfy it, then I get depressed.
Yes.
It says, I then have to stop feeding my desire.
Yes.
Because fast food is no longer an option.
You have to wait. The science of waiting.
Yes, the science of waiting. And so it's all about training your willpower.
Yeah, correct.
So many young people has no willpower. They don't have willpower. They want to do something, they don't do it. You know? And so it's training the willpower that develop them. That young kid, many years ago, this young kid that I was going through this challenge with, was seeing a therapist because he had all this depression. So two things changed. The diet changed and the spiritual life was like more focused on. In 2 weeks, he says, you know what, he told the therapist, I don't need it anymore.
Right.
And the therapist says, you know what, I have noticed. The therapist is now asking my young kid, what happened? What happened? What did you do that changed? And I think to some extent it doesn't make sense to many people. Like, you change your diet and you're more serious in your spiritual life and you're telling me that you're no longer depressed. But like, sometimes it's that simple, you know?
Yep.
When we're more serious in what we want to do, it changes. And it's really a blessing to see these people grow.
Yeah. Wow, amazing that you understand the connection of all these addictions, and which starts from satisfying your needs and in the most quickest way possible, because we are now in that era of everything is instant.
Yes.
You know, I can't even like live without the phone that is 0% and I just off it, you know. I think one of the factors why those in the past kids are more resilient is because we grew up with lesser things.
Yes.
We play, you know.
Yes.
We are not into Facebook and
Far
Instagram
more dangerous today,
and TikTok.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Far more dangerous.
But all these things, we think that it's gratifying our needs. It's actually ruining our mental health in the end.
100%. I went through like 3 digital detox challenges that I've done with young people. One in the university, both churches I've done it.
Wow.
And one other thing is these young people really don't know how to make friends, you know?
Yeah.
I'm talking about like deep connection.
Yes.
Many of the young people don't know because they're so fixed with this social media. And I think this is an addiction that we don't talk about.
Yes, exactly.
You know, there's these 3 kings, right? The smoking, the alcohol, and the drugs.
Yeah.
But I think this digital addiction is something that maybe should be part of it, or maybe above this stage.
It is called the hidden addictions because you don't even realize you're so addicted, you know, and everyone is doing it. So those days, a 15-year-old doing all the gang of 3, smoking, alcohol, is like everyone knows, and everyone is like pointing a finger at you. But now, pornography, social media, all these things, it's all hidden. And you can do it at 12 midnight, 1 a.m., no one knows. And it's really going to hurt them in the process. So,
I feel that's really the reason why so many of our
Yeah.
young people have mental health.
Yes,
Their
that's
sleep
true.
is disturbed, their confidence is gone, their low self-esteem. Yeah.
Correct. Well, thank you so much, Pastor Robert, for
Thank you.
sharing your time and your experiences and your insights. This is really an eye-opening for me as well as an adult, and it has made me reflective of what I have done in the past as far as young people are concerned. And it's not too late,
No.
to change our styles, the way we relate to young people. And we hope that this podcast for this season will really open a lot of people's mindset on addictions, mental health problems, because they're really a cycle. They're one cannot do without the other. Thank you so much once again, and all the best in your endeavors and being a father. I know it's not
Thank
easy,
you.
but I think you are on the right path.
Praise God. Praise. Thank you.
Thank you. And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching our podcast and listening to our conversation. And we'll see you next week. We will be talking about depression. So until then, bye.